All right. In activity A, they want to see what happens when things free fall in a vacuum. Get the gizmo ready. Click reset. Choose under atmosphere, select the vacuum, or what that means is no air. Go to your gizmo, hit the reset button. Mine's already been pressed. Go to where it says atmosphere, select vacuum. So that means there's no air when we drop these two objects. Question. A vacuum is a region with no air or any other matter. How do different objects fall through a vacuum? Question number one. Form a hypothesis. A hypothesis, if you remember, is an educated guess. So, how do you think the object will fall when there is no air? Write down your thinking. Do you think it'll make the objects fall at the same speed or different speeds? They'll be the same as air. Write down whatever you're thinking. Question two. Experiment. Drop different objects from the tower. What do you notice? So in question two, what they want you to do is now on different objects at the same place and run the experiment and see what happens. I don't want to do this right now. I want you guys to go through it at the same time. Make sure you're looking down at the speed as you're dropping them and see if that there's any difference in speeds or if they're the same. Write down your observation of what you saw. Click observation. Click reset. Drop the watermelon and the ping pong ball from the top of the tower. Watch the speedometers. They show each of the object's speed in meters per second. What did you notice? Go into your um, gizmo, select the watermelon, and then go ahead and select the ping pong and run that experiment. While you're running it, make sure you're keeping track of the speed as it's falling. What is the final speed of each object? If they're different, make sure you write watermelon and the speed, meters per second, and then the ping pong, the meters per second. If they're the same, just write the speed. An object is accelerating if the speed is changing. What can you say about the acceleration of the objects in the vacuum? So, are they dropping at a constant speed? Are they accelerating quickly? Write down what you think is happening with the acceleration of the two objects. Question number four. Interpret. Select the graph tab. The graph shows the speeds of the object over time. What do the lines look like on the graph? So you click play, you see that they both fall. You should have already written this number in meters per second on your paper. Now you select the graph. Both the watermelon and the ping pong are in the same speed. Just describe what this graph looks like in question number 4A. 4B, what does the graph tell you? So, is the object going faster, slower? Is it accelerating? Is it decelerating? Or is it staying at the constant speed? If you need to um, go in different directions on yours, you can do that. I think it allows you to zoom in, out, and reset it. When you're looking at your graph, on the left is your speed measurements, and on the bottom is your time. Question 5. Extend your thinking. In 1971, Apollo 15 Commander Dave Scott dropped a hammer and a feather on the moon, which has no air. What do you think happened? Explain your answer. So, do you think the hammer and the feather, did they fall at the same rate or different rates? Which one do you think happened to hit the moon's surface first? Make sure that you write down your explanation in your answer. Don't just write that the feather hit the ground first, but make sure you include why.